Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to show you how to cape skin this squirrel here. Right there. Alright, so all you need is a knife and a pair of scissors and a gamble. Small game gamble is going to be the best thing. Or you can just hang it up on a piece of, or you just hang it up on a rope or something like that. But you really want to hang them up, otherwise you're going to get your animal dirty. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by cutting from right here behind this knee. Let me just see if you can see this thing. Start by cutting right here behind the knee and then work down to the other knee along the color line. So by doing that, we're just going to take the knife, stab the leg, slide it along, turn around, cut it here, do the same. Alright. So yeah, just cut along that color line. Then let me just see, I gotta put my camera down a little bit. I'm going to hang them up here. Alright, so let me just put my camera down some. Alright, so now I put my camera down. I'm just going to kind of show you what we're doing here. So, what you're going to do is grab this rear end, and you're going to kind of grab it, pull it back, take your knife, and cut along the skin and meat line. You're going to put a couple cuts into it. And then use your thumb and push up like that. Alright, so now as you can see we have a little opening there. Now for a fox or a possum or something, this is where you pretty much skin all small mammals up to like coyotes. Although for a fox or coyote you might want to skin up all the way to the heel, but you don't want to skin around like this. But this is the way I skin pretty much every animal, including fox. I skin, just make one cut to the back of the knee. But on a fox or possum, you don't need to worry about with coon. You need a cut here with your knife. You don't use your thumb. Just right here on the underside of the stomach here, just the base of the stomach, that thing will rip right open on you. So you don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to get one leg skinned out, and then we're going to put this thing on the gamble. So, yeah, I'll show you what I'm doing here. Let me just make this cut up. You want to make it slightly past the knee. Just slightly. So first, you're going to push your thumb down there, up about as high as you can into the gut cavity. Or down the stomach. Don't pop the duct. And if you do, it ain't the biggest deal. And this squirrel here is going to get mounted. Hopefully. So use your thumb and just free that whole chunk of that whole thigh. Then you're going to grab the thigh and you're going to skin up the back end right here. And you're going to skin, and you're going to work your thumb through until you can see it pop out right here on this other end. And you see here. Alright, so see there? I got my thumb through. That's what you want. So now push your thumb up all the way. Just work it back and forth until you hit the spine, pretty much. Alright, which is what I've done now. I'm going to take it and just pull it back. Make sure you want the leg not bent, but you want it, you can have bent at the knee, but you want the foot straight with the bottom part of the leg. Otherwise your claws will rip holes Now once you get to the heel, which is about where we're at, we're gonna carefully cut that white membrane there. Every time it shows, now we're actually gonna bend this heel to get this over the heel. And we're going to be skinning this with the feet on. So right here, right there, at the point of the heel, we'll take your knife and kind of cut under the skin and free it from the bone without making a hole. And don't cut that tendon there, or you're going to hang it up on the gambrel once we're done with this one leg. And just keep cutting away until you can kind of pull it freely, which what we're doing here. But it's not coming off freely yet. So just keep cutting. Keep pulling and keep cutting until you get to those knuckles, and then you're gonna cut it off. Alright, so now as you can tell, we've gotten to the knuckle, and we're going to take our knife and cut it just slightly past the knuckles, about halfway to the next joint. About halfway. Just be very careful when you're skinning out these feet, because you'll break them off, or you'll rip the foot pads off. Here you go. As you can tell, we've gotten to the knuckles, and you can tell when you bend them. Now just take your pair of scissors, cut it off, and there you have a fully skinned out leg. So now, just gonna wanna show you how to do this tail here. So now skin up this side more, past the spine. You want to get this tail free before you do the second leg. You can do both legs, doesn't matter, but I personally, for squirrels at least, prefer to do the one leg first. But for something with a tough tail, like a raccoon or fox or something, you want, or possums, it will about kill you sometimes trying to pull these tailbones out. So, as you can see here, we've skinned out just a little bit of the tail. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our fingers, pinch that tail, the skin and tail, pull this tailbone straight out. And there you have a nice skinned out tail. Now we're going to do the second back leg. So we're just going to go ahead and skin out this last foot here. And right here we're at the heel. So basically just grab the foot, cut that membrane. Now how to do this for a coyote, this is pretty much the same way, but as far as I understand, you have to cut pretty much all the way to the paw pad, basically. Along the color line up all the way up to the paw pad on the underside of the leg, the back side. And staying in the middle, obviously. Or you can just cut the feet off. Problem is when you cut this feet off, it makes it hard to skin. And the fur is a lot less valuable, and of course you can't mount it. I mean, you could mount it, but it wouldn't look all that great. You know, you put the feet back on, and you'd still be able to notice. Although I do have one squirrel. His tail fell off and I replaced his tail and it looks fine. And then I also did a fox. The fox chewed its foot off while I was in the trap. And as I was able to sew the foot back on, it looks fine. You can't tell. If you're good at it, the stitches should be invisible. But even so, it still makes it a lot more complicated. And the foot may not look so realistic, because you may have to carve the form down. So don't cut the feet off. And even if I'm gonna cut, I generally cut the feet off after skinning, because that's just the easiest way to do it. At least for me. And hey, it's good practice anyway. So I practice skinning with this right here at the knuckles. And we're just gonna make one more cut. Then just take your scissors and cut the bone. Don't cut your skin. You don't want to make a hole in the skin. Now that this leg here is skinned out, what you're going to want to do is take a finger, put it up this leg hole, about as high up as you can, which isn't very high in this world. Then you're going to want to put your finger here. You're going to want to flip it inside out. Now this is extremely important. Otherwise, your foot will dry out and it'll rip. It'll totally rip on you. So as soon as you're done skinning out that foot, turn it back like that. And there you have a squirrel leg skinned out. And I actually forgot to do it on this guy, on this leg. So just simply turn it out. Otherwise, when you try to turn it out later, it will just absolutely rip on you. And I had that happen to one of my foxes. I wasn't super excited about it either. So see this one here, I'm having a hard time. And it's only been air drying for about 5 minutes now. But there you go. Now, we're done. I'm gonna put the camera up and skin them on the gimbal.